Welcome to GHOSTWATCH2016, the show where we watch Kamen Rider Ghost. My name's Coriander Dickinson, and I've seen a bunch of Kamen Rider.
My name's Heather Deary. I've seen some Sentai.
My name's Kate Stark, and I'm slowly learning what these words mean.
This time we watched Episode 7, Bullseye, the Legendary Gunman.
Quick recap of last week. Beethoven.
I wrote down chin horn piano, and I don't know why anymore.
And Electric Reacher Grabber Arm Rifle.
Most importantly, though, Spectre.
Spectre.
So we open the episode, we have 11 more icons, and we have 30 days to do it.
Yeah, he's running out of time. That planning management thing his friend put up and he made all clearly have not been working.
No, that went out the window. I don't know what happened between last episode and this one, but like there was a large jump of time.
Like, I think he was totally ignoring the calendar because he made that icon collection book for himself.
Good point.
Which he's still, I think, ignoring.
Maybe he just makes to-do lists in the same way I do. I think I can get this much done in a day. I don't know why I put 12 things down. I can only do 3.
When I make to-do lists, I literally write, like, wake up. And then I already cross it off. Like, as I'm making the list, I'm like, I woke up. Good job, me.
I like that. Maybe I do that from now on.
Do that. Do like 3 things that you've already done.
My number
like
12.
Wake up, get dressed, start making coffee.
What if I haven't done those things yet?
Yeah,
you should really do those things.
I don't get dressed. Might take a while.
If you haven't woken up by the time you're making your to-do list, then I am very impressed with you doing it in your sleep.
That seems really efficient, actually. Making your to-do lists while you're sleeping.
Put on my to-do list. Make to-do lists.
I'll get 11 more icons in 30 days on this to-do list after I've done the sleeping parts.
Right. We start with Scary Teeth Man in the graveyard talking to dead dadman.
Yeah, Taco's dad's tombstone. And then Spectre walks up and walks right past Scary Mouth and also goes to Dad's tombstone.
So there's some sort of connection going on between all of the characters.
They're all connected by one dead dad.
Maybe he's their dead father. Like everyone's dead father.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, like, why would Spectre randomly, 1, be a Kamen Rider, 2, be at Dad's grave? Prediction is that it's like Taco's brother or something.
I mean, since we're talking about Taco Time's dad, we get a shot outside the monolith next, and there's a person there. I wrote this down as Monolith Dad because that seemed important. And Taco Time sees him, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm gonna believe forever and burn bright.
I'm gonna be a hero,
and
just like you."
Yeah.
And he has this whole motivational speech.
And his dad's like, "Yes, nod,
He goes in for the ghost hug.
And then Dad disappears.
It's so tragic when people disappear in the middle of a ghost hug.
But then Taco wakes up and it was all a dream.
I was actually disappointed by it being a dream. I really wanted him to have ghost dad hug.
His dad's dead. For real, though.
But Taco's also dead.
He's a ghost too, though, so
Look,
I think they
Corey.
can have a ghost hug together. Like, it'll be when Taco Time tries to hug people and he has the mysterious tear thing, they'll both double into a mystical void and cry together, and it will be so beautiful, Kate. So
I don't
beautiful.
like this description.
They'll both cry. With tears of joy.
And crystals.
As their ghost hugs heal each other of their past wounds, and then we won't have to have dad flashback death anymore.
They'll go to the cry zone.
I'm about to go to the cry zone.
So Taco is taking his new hero training very seriously in the yard with a wooden practice sword again.
And he's fighting the air.
He's doing the forms, sort of.
And then Akari walks up and says, "You and Makoto used to train a lot like that in the yard."
Cue flashback to 2 kids fighting with sticks. I just practice swords.
And Dad's there.
And one of the children is very bad at swords. And his name is Taco Time.
And the other one is Makoto. Makoto Kid looked a lot like Spectre. Like, even as a child.
I mean,
he had the same hair.
Frankly, we got spoilered in the previous episode because whoever translated this translated brother as Makoto. So,
which I actually didn't pick up on until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But
it's not like that wouldn't have been a thing that couldn't have happened. Like, it could have been a thing in the episode where she calls him that name. That would have happened in definitely an American translation, I think.
As soon as I saw Spectre the Tombstone, I said, I'm calling it. It's definitely a brother. And then both of you were like, so about that.
The kids don't have wooden practice swords. They have rolled up newspapers. And there are a couple girls cheering them on from the steps. And one of them I'm assuming is Akari, and the other one I'm assuming is Spectre's dead sister.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right,
that would make sense. Yeah. I believe Akari, like, just happens to mention, I haven't seen Makoto since he disappeared 10 years ago.
He just up and vanished.
We were really close, tight friends, and it just vanished around the time that your dad died. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well. Time to go get information from Gramps about the next icon location, because time is running out.
Yeah.
Taco goes looking for him in the basement. He's not there, but up on a shelf are 2 items with some very nicely made signage.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
Gramps made some nice signs.
One says, this will be really handy, and the other one says, this will be very useful.
One of the items is the plastic clock thing from the desk earlier,
which has like the handle on it.
And the other thing is a blue lantern plastic also item
with a handle on top.
You probably buy these at your earliest convenience online. They're very tiny. When he picks them up, they're about as small as Condor phone.
Yeah, they're palm sized. But then Taco picks up what looks kind of like a flyer and said, oh, Gramps left a note. And it looks like a vintage Batman comic with like the bam,
bam,
pow,
ooh,
like little bubbles.
It's okay. So first of all, Gramps made signs for these 2 items, one we've never seen before, and then he made a comic poster thing. Like
stuck it in the hero book.
He's got too much time on his hands.
On the note, though, it says next is the fastest gunman in the West.
And Taco's like, oh, Billy the Kid.
Obviously.
Clearly.
And our historical trivia this week is Billy the Kid was the legendary gunman who won countless quick draw duels during the American Age of Western expansion.
I have to say, I was expecting more Japanese heroes in this show.
I didn't know what to expect, so this seems fine.
I just, once we hit Edison, we have not gone back to a Japanese hero other than Nobunaga. Are we gonna never go back to Japan again?
Akari comes in and takes the note from Taco and puts it up on like a magnetic whiteboard using tiny little magnets of Taco that she made in his like Ghost Rider.
She calls him Kamen Rider Ghost.
Yeah,
and she's like, here we go, Kamen Rider Ghost. I made these magnets.
And it's him in his outfit as he's transformed, and it's so cute.
And above that one is one for the Driver series.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Driver.
Which is...
Or Drive. Kamen Rider sports car.
I like to think she made the Drive one first as a test, and then she's like, yeah, okay, this works. I can make a Taco Time one. Perfect.
I'm sure you can also find these online. Onari comes in, excited, as always, with a new client for Snapple.
This is the thing. With those magnets, Onari made that cell phone case. He probably went online, put a thing in, and got a cell phone case ordered. Akari made magnets. Figurine magnets.
She's
she's
super smart.
I think she's more hardcore into this than Onari might be.
No, she's more hardcore into Taco.
Yeah, she's hardcore into Taco. Onari is hardcore into Snapple.
Okay.
We get a brand fight going on. Taco Time versus Snapple.
And Akari is picking love.
Okay, well, Taco Time just needs to hug Snapple and then they can stop having a brand fight.
She's picking science and love.
Forever.
So the client this time is a guy named Tanaka Tsuneo. And he's all like, my best buddy, who I've been friends with forever, is suddenly treating me like he doesn't know me.
Like, we used to live in the same house, and we have this secret greeting, and he totally forgot the secret greeting.
And also, maybe all of the people in my village kind of zombie out of their houses at night and walk across a bridge that I can't follow them across.
Every time I try, I get knocked back by mysterious wind.
Or a tree.
Yeah, I don't know how that tree pops out of nowhere, but that tree... Ugh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a tree and not something weird and supernatural.
Totally.
Tonari's like, it's a Ganma. And the dude's like, what is a Ganma? And everyone's like, shh.
Oh, but then
It's our secret.
the students run in. And they're very excited because they're like, oh, we found a thing about a Western shop, and that guy that you've been sending us after, he's been there.
The man that tricked everyone earlier.
Scary mouth.
So Taco decides to go with the client, with the friend, and then Snapple goes with the students.
But Taco sends them with the clock and lantern, and Akari's like, how does this work? And Taco's like, it'll work.
It'll be
Don't
fine.
worry about it.
These will be very useful. I read some signs.
They will also be helpful. So Taco and the client walking down the street in his neighborhood, and they're just talking about friendship.
So much friendship.
Really heartfelt conversation about...
How friends that you remember.
Yeah. It's very sweet.
I remember this friend I had, Makoto. I didn't have any flashbacks about him until this point in the series, but I remember him fondly. Super fondly.
But then everyone on these like balconies that's facing the street just start staring at them.
Like just blank-faced, standing on a balcony next
Super
to all their
creepy.
laundry.
And then the friend walks around the corner, and the client is like, whoa, wait, watch this. And he runs up and he tries the secret greeting, and the friend is like, excuse me, sir, and just walks past
He like
him.
goes into a fist bump and just gets shut down.
Yeah.
Which really hurt to watch.
Yeah.
And we really only have this guy's word that he actually knows these people and is friends with this dude.
It's true. And in Taco Time, he's like, well, maybe they're possessed. Let me check. But the wind just blows him back out of nowhere.
Kabam. They're on the ground.
And then there's a lady voice that appears, and then a lady Ganma that appears.
Have we had a female Ganma yet?
No.
I don't think so. She was very...
Her outfit is spectacular. Like every episode I say, oh, this Ganma has my new favorite outfit. But this Ganma has my new favorite outfit. It's beautiful.
I feel like the show is just like, we know one day Kate Stark will watch, and every episode we need her to say, this is my new favorite Ganma outfit. They knew you were going to watch this, Kate.
And you know what? They've killed it. This Ganma is very clearly a lady and very clearly like a wasp or a hornet.
And she's a Western lady.
She's got a pink cowboy hat on with two little antennae with bee stingers in the top. She's wearing like a yellow jacket with black trim.
Like it's a crop top jacket.
Yeah, it's a cropped jacket. And then kind of like a matching pattern on the skirt, but like a honeycomb kind of
And her
pattern.
chest has a face on it.
Yep.
A subtle face.
It's like big pink eyes and a mouth.
And she has a pink skirt with longer bits coming down that look either like, I think they look like wings coming out of her skirt. But then out of the lapels, she has little like cherry blossom flower petals.
Yeah, so I think there's a big like sakura cherry blossom thing going on. Probably because she's female. Also partly because maybe they confuse bees and wasps.
Could be. I think the only really confusing element of this entire outfit is the giant monocle.
That's attached to her hat because she has eyes that don't function.
Now, my guess for this was because she's like a Western lady and she's like a sharpshooter, right? She needs to be able to aim, and maybe the monocle will help with the aim?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
We haven't seen a weapon on her yet, but
You
I'm
think
sure
Western,
she'll
you think
probably...
little like pistols or something.
Yeah, generally.
Or a rifle
Yeah.
or
Some kind of gun.
Her shoulder pads are giant.
bee butts.
Yeah, bee butts. They're big stinger butts. And her hair is kind of the same. Sorry, I say hair loosely. The part that her hair should be are also kind of just long stingers.
Yep. Sharpshooter would work really well given all the stingers that are sharply around her and how sharply dressed
And, like,
she
I
is.
assumed it was like Calamity Jane
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
type
that
thing
would have been worked
to
really well.
contrast with Billy the Kid. But no,
No,
she doesn't have a gun.
she doesn't even fire a gun.
Ever. What I implore you to do, because this outfit is so amazing, is just Google image search Kamen Rider Ghost B Ganma, and you will see an incredible visual.
Yeah, she really rocks that belt that all the Ganma have.
Yeah. and
It
hers
works
is-
with her outfit.
Hers is pink and adorable.
Taco sees her talking up on a roof, and he's like, I'm going to transform. And then she just dive bombs him.
It turns out she can fly.
She flies.
Of course she can fly.
I mean, I think I don't know if I would be surprised by any Ganma that not like being able to fly, because they're all ghosts essentially.
And then she lands, and then it's hand-to-hand combat time. Taco and the bee lady
and then out of nowhere, Spectre shows up.
Spectre.
just like tackles him from off screen. Tackles Taco time.
Yeah, and B-Lady's like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah, well, if you got this, all right, I'm gonna just I'll be over here. See ya.
With my community that I'm protecting, that you should stay out of.
And the Spectre asks Taco, "Have you made up your mind?" And Taco's like, "Yeah, I want to live.
I want to help people.
I want to live my best life."
I really liked their fight, like when they both went to transform, and the two jackets.
Yeah, so Taco transforms
Clashed.
into Musashi, and then Spectre transforms into Nobunaga.
At the same time, and their jackets have a little fight
Yeah,
before they transform. And this time, Taco with the swords is actually holding his own very well against Spectre.
Because of the training in the yard earlier.
yeah.
It made all the difference.
Well, they both do the same Omega Drive kick thing that they did before, and neither one of them gets thrown out of their transformation.
Yeah, but
So they're on level now?
The funny thing is, before they do the Omega Drive kick, Taco transforms back to his normal orange self because he's like, I believe in myself to do this on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Spectre keeps the Nobunaga jacket on.
So even at a lower level, Taco is doing better than he was before. Taco is then transformed back to normal self, and he runs over to the client, and then Spectre leaves.
The client's screaming for him.
He
He's
can't
like,
see him anymore.
Takeru! Everyone has left. You were gone. Everyone left.
Everyone in the neighborhood who was like on the balcony staring, everybody's gone.
They gathered pretty well. Like, I'm assuming a fire alarm drill happened, and they just all left very orderly, and they were like, yeah, we gotta go this way now for the head count, right?
I think they left in an orderly manner because they were zombies.
Okay.
Next, we see Spectre on the waterfront with his motorcycle talking to his girl icon, which we think is his sister. And then Scary Mouth walks up talking about Mr. Aaron.
We learned Scary Mouth's name.
I
It's
mean,
it's Saionji.
Yeah.
still going to call him
Oh,
Scary
no, we're
Mouth.
not going to call him that ever again, but we learned his name for the first time.
So Saionji is working for Mr. Aaron, whoever that is. And he mentions that he was also working previously with Dead Dad.
He's like, oh, hey, were you sent to the world of Ganma like 10 years ago?
Just throwing that out there.
Wait, why would you talk about that?
Flashback to Temple, where Scary Mouth and Dad are chilling and talking.
They have
were,
matching outfits.
which is adorable, but they're also like, we're ghost hunters. Woo!
Yeah, we're studying Ganma, and there was probably an accident or an experiment that had an accident. There was a lot of talks of experiments and accidents.
And Blue Man is like, don't you dare talk about my sister. And Scary Mouth's like, whoa, I'm going to leave. Goodbye.
Yeah,
So, sister and icon confirmed.
So then we get a flashback from Blue Man's point of view of the monolith in the basement with a giant sucking eye thing and his sister dangling through it, and as children, him
Often
holding
do.
her, and then them both getting sucked in.
And then when they're in there, there's like icons everywhere.
yeah, it's red. It's
Brown,
very
it's a
hellish
storm.
looking, flying icons all around them.
Imagine being in the middle of a fire tornado with icons floating everywhere. and being terrified.
And being a child.
If you knew what an icon looked like, because it's like a little baseball-sized eyeball with a white case around it, or some other color details.
Kind of looks like the droid from Portal 2.
Oh, like a space core.
Yeah.
Or core.
Yeah.
Or
Wheatley.
Looks like Wheatley.
It was like Wheaton, Weetabix, Weston, Wheatley. It looks like Wheatley, but with like a more of a defined eye on the front.
So then we jump back to Taco Time briefly. He's found some people in what looks like a park, all walking around, just out of it.
Yeah, super
Very calmly.
zombies.
And then cut away to Anari and Akari outside of a Western shop where Scary Mouth Man has just walked in with a box that says keep dry.
It has a very special hat inside it.
And he says that to the shop owner. He's like, I've brought it. It's for
And
you.
The shop is full of Western paraphernalia. Like there's hats and saddles and leather bags.
Boots, belts.
Exactly what you think of when you think of a Western
Like a
clothing
cowboy
shop.
It's the
store.
perfect spot for Akari to put her glitter gun in through the window and let go. Just glitter everywhere.
Yeah, isn't she just like, I wonder, and like pulls the glitter gun. It's like, woof.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was weird.
The
But-
store is a mess now. No one can ever go in
Vandalism.
there.
We find out that the hat in the box is that of Billy the Kids, and the shop owner is like his biggest fan ever, so he freaks out about it.
And it starts glowing gold.
Yeah.
And Scary Mouth Man does the seal over it.
The ghost parka comes out. He opens his briefcase and it sucks it in.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was not expecting that.
But inside of the bag was a bunch of wires and a really creepy eyeball staring back.
Like the middle section of a driver belt. Just attached to the bottom of all of this electronic stuff. It looks like they took like 3 motherboards and just lined the inside of this case with it.
Yep.
I'm kind of wondering who they took the belt from. I guess it might have been Pretty Boy. If we were suspecting that Pretty Boy is a Kamen Rider and they have scienced a belt, maybe they took his belt.
I'm wondering if it was part of the Dead Dad's Ghost Hunter research before, like way long ago.
Yeah, that sounds plausible, actually.
He takes the icon out of the briefcase and leaves the shop. Anari and Akari are outside watching, and they're like, "We have to get that. We need to go after that."
And so they follow him off.
We get to the bridge where so much of these episodes are filmed. And Spectre walks up and Pretty Boy's standing there. They have a little chat. And it sounds like Mr. Uran is Pretty Boy.
Yeah, his name's Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah, and he's
Like-
like,
A name we will never say again as well.
No.
thanks for the Edison icon. And he actually just gives it back to him.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to give it back.
No. And he was like, it helps me go into the Ganma world.
Well, he didn't say that. He was like, it helped me with my research.
Which
And
we
then
can...
Showed us an image of the storm in the Ganma world and like a figure materializing sort of in it that looked like the Edison Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it was really brief and weird. But he gives back the Edison icon, and Spectre is all like, "Hey, do you know what was up with like 10 years ago? You happen to know anything about that?" Pretty Boy's like, "Meh, no."
We then see Snapple following Scary Mouth still. Upstairs into like an office setting, but they use the tiny helpful lantern from earlier to light
Because
their
it is
way.
very dark.
It
Very
was
dark.
really, really funny, because I guess it was just a thing of like, hey, this item will be useful. And Akari's like, yeah, I'm in a dark space now. I could use some light. Lantern.
They creep into the door of the office where Scary Teeth is, and he's just like holding the icon and cackling, more or less. Maybe not actually cackling, but he's got it. He's like
I'd say
very
he's
happy.
having a chuckle.
Yeah. Anari walks out and he's like, I'm gonna go and take that, but he trips and falls and
falls into Scary Mouth Man.
Scary Mouth
and
falls,
they drop
and
the icon. And
but
goes to
Inari
get
gets it. He gets that icon.
Inari
He's like,
does get it.
yeah.
Scary Mouth Man is like, no, give it back. And he throws 2 icons on the ground, and they become Ganma.
Basic Ganma.
Basics.
But that lantern.
Yeah, the lantern just starts like glowing, kind of glittery, and then makes these 2 basics appear.
Yeah, so now that glitter gun, completely useless. We don't need that anymore.
We might need it,
I mean, we should keep it.
just in case.
But chances are good. It's been out-scienced by ghost magic.
Ghost magic is science too.
That's why I said it out-scienced it. I understand that ghost magic is science.
But there's not a lot that Onari and Akari can do, except throw some random office crap at the Ganma, like boxes that are nearby, or pillows, it looked like. Because the Ganma have swords, and they don't have swords. We hear a bell sound from a clock.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, like an
bing.
alarm clock ringing. And so, tiny little clock, which is apparently, says Gramps, really useful, from earlier, starts flying.
It doesn't so much transform as just its sides open
Yeah.
up, and it flaps, and then it flaps towards the Ganma, and then it's like sending out these sound waves. And we can tell they're sound waves because they look like sound waves, and Scary Mouth Man is covering his ears.
Corey very quickly deduced that this was a bat.
Which then they've told us was a bat, so that was great. I'm glad we got confirmation
Yeah, we were
because I could
On
not
that.
tell right away.
some sort of flying creature that was using echolocation.
I think I was excitedly waiting for it to be a lot more like Condorphone, where it did fully transform and it didn't, and then I was confused. But then Inari, or it was Akari, was all very much like, "Oh, hey, take us to Taco Time,"
And the bat flaps off, and they
and so
follow
they
it.
followed it.
We go to Taco Time in the park with the zombie horde, and they're all just like walking, and he's like, no, stop. And he gets like real close into them to shove them, and looks and sees on one of their necks is like a glowing growth.
Looks kind of like a bee stinger.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you'd want to have anywhere near you.
No, but it's like a large, like 2-inch black and like kind of glowing orange striped thing attached to their neck.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, they're not being possessed, they're being controlled by these things. So I'll just pull out my sword and cut them."
And then the bee Ganma appears.
Yeah, he pulls out the sword without transforming. Like
Yeah.
he materializes the driver belt and then just pulls the sword out of it and then starts attacking flying small things.
Untransformed Taco and her start fighting.
All the people fell, so I'm assuming they were all freed ish. Maybe
Or
very
stunned.
tired. Or stunned is a good way to put it. But the friend of the client ran away.
He was scared.
So I think he ran away before he got freed.
I don't think he was freed.
I'm not sure if he was freed or not. I couldn't tell.
Oh, friend of the client, not the client. Yes.
Yeah.
I misheard you.
These others were just like, "Oh, we're tired. Oh, hey, a fight. Maybe we'll watch."
They can't see anything. These are ghosts.
Or maybe they're just tired.
Or maybe Taco's not a ghost at the moment, but the Ganma certainly is.
Yeah.
All the time.
Taco then transforms. They continue fighting. Then he transforms quite quickly, actually, into Musashi.
Yeah, she's flying around. One sword is clearly not enough.
Yeah, so he makes the fake Naginata and swings it right at her. Doesn't even have time to yell out an Omega
Slash, I think.
thing.
Something like that.
He's just gonna hit her.
And then she transforms into like a bajillion bees.
And then we have a bee chase.
And Taco's being attacked by a million bees.
Snapple runs close. And
Being led by Bat Clock.
Bat Clock. And is like, wait, no, we have the Billy the Kid icon here. And then throws it towards Taco, and then he transforms.
into Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
This was a kind of disappointing ghost parka.
Yeah, I wrote down Billy coat. Eh?
It was brown.
It's got some bullets on it.
Yeah, it had like bullet armbands around like the biceps.
It's got like bandolier accents.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got like bandoliers around the upper arms and then like down the sides of. It's like not across the chest. It's down the sides of the shoulders.
There's a weird cow pattern on the shoulders that I'm assuming they're going for a cow pattern, but it kind of looks like the kind of cow pattern you'd try to do if you were in Minecraft or something. Like you're
Yeah.
not quite getting it and you're making it square.
It's like an abstract cow pattern / skull pattern. And he's got a brown hood, which at the top is actually a cowboy hat, and around the rim of that cowboy hat is rope.
Yeah, I
mean,
like the hat.
the
I like the
hat-
hat on
yeah.
the hood.
Cool.
The
He's
hat's
got,
pretty
like,
cool.
A collar too, a jacket collar.
And it's all gold trimmed, and it's fine.
It's
But
just
like
the
I've
rest
seen,
of it's
Really
just-
boring.
Yeah.
I've seen better.
Yeah.
Come
so
on.
much better.
Come on, Kamen Rider Ghost. You know I'm watching this. You know I'm judging.
The bat clock runs into his hand. It becomes a gun, which I believe we called in an earlier episode.
Yeah, but then because it had a handle on it. But then the alarm clock is on the side of the gun, and as soon as I saw that, and I saw I was about to call it a McCree jacket. As soon as
So this is Kamen Rider McCree.
this is Kamen Rider
It
McCree.
might as well be.
I turned to Corey and I was like, Corey, it's high noon.
I'm super surprised they didn't say the words high noon.
I figured they
At
would
all.
have.
It seems, especially with the clock and the double-barreled gun thing they got going, it's weird.
No, he's like, the exterminator's here.
It's such
Yeah,
a
they went for the
waste.
bug joke when they could have gone for the high noon joke.
Such a waste. I'm
Which-
disappointed.
Would have worked even outside of Overwatch context that didn't exist when this thing was being filmed.
The other thing that was surprising is, like, Taco starts spinning and shooting the bees, and the guns are, like, both automatic weapons. It's just, like, bullets. Many bullets.
Yep.
I mean, he's a ghost.
He is ghost guns.
But it's supposed
Made
to be
from
kind
a
of like
clock.
a 6-shooter. Like, okay, his face, when he's transformed, is, like, a revolver that's being shot. Like, you can see the barrel of the gun and the spinny bit that holds all the bullets in a revolver.
Yeah.
The bullet closet?
The chamber.
The chamber, right. I was going to try and remember what it was called, but then by the time I got there, I was just like, it's a
We're
closet.
calling it a bullet closet now. So you see the bullet closet.
Like, last time I couldn't remember Drum Magazine, which is what those round ones are called. And this time it's chamber. I couldn't remember, like, chamber for the rounds of the revolver. No.
God.
Bullet enclosure.
So he shoots all those bees, and then I guess he shoots enough of them that she has to regather into her Ganma form. And Urisen shows up, and he's just like, hey, put your guns together.
You know, just put them
Just
together.
do it.
And he's like, oh, it's a rifle.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
becomes... That's how guns work, right? Like, if you get enough of them and you push them together, you can get rifles?
Yeah,
If
you
you,
combo them.
if you have two automatic pistols, and you chain them together, you get a rifle
Right.
that only has one very powerful
Now,
shot for when you use your
the-
Omega attack.
The problem I have was when you have two ghost guns merging together in such a beautiful ceremony into one, that they, while living in this house, only get one bullet closet to share. And that seems like they should still have two. This move is called Omega Impact, and there's a clock noise when he shoots.
Bing bong. It's gun o'clock.
It was basically exactly that. Thank you, Corey. Were you the Foley artist for this episode?
I make all the clock noises in Kamen Rider Ghost.
Great.
So he's defeated. Taco Time has defeated Bee Lady, but the basics have got Onari and Akari because unlike last time when they had Bat Clock to save them, Bat Clock's busy being a gun merged rifle.
Yes.
They take them away, and Taco Time would clearly go after them, but Urisen's like, no, hold your horses over there.
Look at that.
And in the giant fireball that was Bee Lady has come another swarm that
Of-
just takes off,
So many things happen.
and it, like, flies to a like construction shed covered in tarp with barrels on it, which explodes violently.
It's very complicated.
I have a very hard time describing what is about to happen.
Oh my.
And from the explosion,
No, still weird. It still doesn't make any sense. No.
don't know what it is.
Okay. So, what? No. Okay, it's like, okay, we agreed. Snowplow.
Okay,
There's
so
this-
it's got treads.
It's got treads and a snowplow on the front with a kind of sort of eye symbol on it too.
Yeah, like think of a 4-legged octopus.
For those confused, we have the episode playing in front of us so we can see what's happening.
Because
And
we
that
couldn't
just-
write it all down.
It happened to us just then. Oh god, we weren't prepared again.
I still can't decide what it is.
Okay,
It
it's
has
got
6 legs.
Oh yeah, well I got that.
It's brown mostly.
It's-
It has a fuzzy ruff,
Kind of like a moth.
Like
yeah,
a moth.
I'm
but
good
its
with the
face
moth.
isn't moth-like because it's got like an eye in the middle of its forehead, like a singular eye, but it also has like these black teardrop-shaped eyes, and it has pincers. It has pincers and it has pointy antenna like an ant.
Corey's really trying to work
And
through this
then-
right now. Describe the things on its back.
They're like tubes, like a Pokemon's.
It looks like cloister. Why? Why does it have a shell?
It has a gray rock body.
Wait.
with like steam vents.
Describe its butt.
Later we get a shot of its butt, which is like an inverted honeycomb. It's like concave.
But with like 5
I can't.
combs.
I can't. I
They're
just
purple.
I can't figure it out who figured out this design and what things they put in it. I can't figure out how they had to describe this to the CG artist to make. And I don't know if the CG artist knew exactly what they were doing either. And they were just like, well, they said something about a bug and
So you know the picture
construction work.
like, you know the drunk octopus wants to fight picture that's a coat hook.
Yes.
The
Yes.
snowplow has a circle with an eye on it and like little legs that I'm sure aren't supposed to look like an octopus, but it looks like there's an octopus on the plow, which just makes it more confusing.
Yep. It's just, and then to make matters worse, Urison just starts calling for Captain Ghost.
That's not worse. That's better.
No. Well, yes, it's better, but this whole scene gets just weird.
As if it wasn't weird already.
Well, because he calls for Captain Ghost, and then, like, Ghost Striker's like, oh, I can come too. And nobody called for Ghost Striker.
And so, like, while they're coming up, Captain Ghost transforms, and Ghost Striker pops on the top, and in the same moment, Taco Time leaps and lands on it as it intercepts the snowplow. Moth. Rock.
Creature. Moth rock.
Moth rock.
Like
Yeah.
Mothra, but moth
And-
rock.
And he skids it into a water fountain. Like, they skid on top of a water fountain.
Yeah, as if you were skipping a rock.
And I just...
And it starts,
What?
like, mortaring him
And
with, like, purple sparkles from its...
Tube
Yeah.
body.
The
body.
sparkles were weird too. Oh, but then we got a name for our transformed thing. It's Iguana Ghost Striker.
So it is an iguana. Captain Ghost does transform into an iguana.
Not a dinosaur.
Just why
not a
does Ghost?
dinosaur.
Why do they get to keep the Ghost Striker name? Why didn't they go with Iguana Captain
I
Ghost?
think it's because Taco rides it. When Captain Ghost is an independent creature, it is Captain Ghost.
But when they merge,
In a very special ritual.
then it's Iguana Ghost Striker. So at this point, we were all like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And then it was like, next time on Kamen Rider Ghost.
Yeah, it just like shut down, and there was the screen showing us who had what gem or not gems. Wrong franchise. Who had what icons? And we're like, wait, it's over? What?
So we are eagerly anticipating a part 2, but in the end, we have Spectre with 3 icons, and Taco has 5.
Oh wow! I
And
just
they
noticed
have
they all
numbers on
numbers on them.
Yeah, okay, I noticed earlier that they do have numbers on the top and the name
Oh
written
yeah,
down,
but I didn't see the numbers in the
but they have
eyes.
numbers in the eyes.
So what? 1, 2, 3.
So Taco has
We have
1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're missing 2 because Spectre has it, which
is the Edison.
the Edison one. And then Spectre has 11 and 12.
yeah, So we're missing 7 through 11 as well as
13, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
F.
Ah.
We got some work to
Who
do.
numbers their souls?
But now we also know that we only have 29, well,
We're in the
29
middle
and a
of
half days.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the 30th day. Corey, you were saying you think the deadline's fake?
I think the deadline might be fake because there's no way the show can hit that deadline properly and have him have 15 icons to come back to life.
I think Gramps lied about the deadline, but at least what the deadline was for. I think it's an actual deadline. I think something dramatic will happen on the last day.
Right. The other reason I think the deadline, the 90-day deadline for becoming back to life, is that it's clear that Blue Spectre is trying to resurrect his dead sister, or maybe he's trying to pull her from the Gamma world, but he's trying to bring her back, and it's been 10 years.
Well, if he's just trying to pull her from the Ganma world and she's not technically dead, then the deadline might not apply to him.
Then why is she in an icon?
I don't know.
She's trapped in an alternate universe.
Wait, maybe people can reverse possess icons.
There's so much that happened in this episode, and I'm really kind of glad, like, as much as I wanted to see an ending, I'm glad it ended where it did, because my mind was still freaking out over the moth Snowplow. Snowplow.
See?
See, I can't even say it properly.
Try once more.
Snowplow.
Okay. Mothrock.
Mothrock.
Snowplow.
Snowplow.
Both. Snowplow.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's Ghostwatch 2016. Please follow us on Twitter at Ghostwatch2016.
Or check us out on YouTube, Ghostwatch 2016. Or subscribe to the podcast
Or
on
check-
iTunes. Or just go to the website, ghostwatch2016.xyz.
Or just check out your nearest Snowplow.
Heather, go home.
Oh my god, Snowplow.
Snowplow, okay?